Hey everybody, it's Mattie here with Altcoin Buzz. Hope you're having a very nice Monday so far and a terrific start to your week. We're looking at a few stories today, including this Emirati developer that's getting into the crypto game. So we'll take a look at that story. We'll also take a look at the fact that ByNance has its, quote, smart employees, at least according to Changpeng Zhao, that are actually taking their salaries in the BNB Binance coin. So we'll take a look at what that story entails. And we have justice served out of India. So the Indian head of Bitconnect has been arrested. Good. I've said before, I have no sympathy for the architects of that scam, but I do have sympathy for those people that were swept up in it and duped by people like this man. So this is nice to see. We'll take a look at that story. But beginning, as always, on altcoinbuzz.io, we have the Newsflash Recap. This was the news article by Luke. So if you're not across the major stories of the week, we're going to link to this, as always, in the description below. This is just a really good way to catch yourself up if you're not quite up to speed, if you're not across all the latest stuff, just to know what's been happening in the news. And our four most important stories are as follow. We covered all of these both on our website, altcoinbuzz.io, as well as our daily news videos. But we've highlighted the fact that VeChain has been on a tear lately. So number one, what caused VeChain's 50% rise in the past days? Take a look at that if you haven't already. Number two, the Winklevoss twins are not put off by the SEC's rejection, referring to their application to the SEC for a Bitcoin ETF, exchange traded fund. Hey, they've done it before. They've been rejected before. They're going to keep doing it. The market's going to move ahead. They're undeterred because they are consummate professionals and they are success stories. Number three, the Turkish citizens are finding solace in Bitcoin during economic collapse. So we took a look at some of the foreign exchange metrics and some of the charts out there. The lira is really buckling with its US dollar pairing, and they're having a lot of trouble. And Turks seem to be turning toward Bitcoin, and there's a major swelling of investment in some of the Turkish cryptocurrency exchanges. So do be sure to check out that story. And finally, number four, Coinbase, which has taken over the world, says it was signing up 50,000 users on a daily basis in 2017. Lots of Coinbase news lately. Do be sure to check out that story if you haven't heard about it already. So we're going to link to this, of course, in the description below, and you can peruse all of these important stories at your leisure if you haven't already checked them out. But let's look at this story today, also by Luke. Abu Dhabi real estate developer considering cryptocurrency in payment plans. So this is a story about Imkan Properties, which is an Abu Dhabi-based real estate developer. It's considering offering its customers the chance to pay for real estate using cryptocurrencies. And their CEO, Walid El-Hindi, recently mentioned that cryptocurrencies might be introduced as part of consumers' payment plans. So in the case of Imkan Properties, it's a relatively young company. It was only launched a year and a half ago, and this is part of the Abu Dhabi Capital Group. It relies heavily on, quote, different approaches to the real estate business. Currently, Imkan has plans for 26 projects worth over 100 billion Emirati dirham. That's about 27 billion US dollars across 6 countries, including the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, and the Maldives, among others. It's unbelievable that a company a year and a half old has $27 billion worth of projects. But guys, spoiler alert, I used to live in Abu Dhabi, and it's amazing the kind of support that the government can get behind with the right company. They're so poised for growth. They're so expansionist in a good way in terms of their thinking, the way they want to develop their country, the way they want to develop major infrastructure projects and all kinds of things like that. It's something really to be admired. So this is not necessarily out of sync with some of the things I've seen previously. What I do like to see is the emphasis on cryptocurrency. So that's fantastic. The young Abu Dhabi company is Abu Dhabi-based company aims to create design-based soulful spaces that rely on heavy research. So speaking to Arabian Business, their CEO Walid El-Hindi said the following: Imkan is looking into new ways of approaching financials. We are looking into cryptocurrencies and new technologies when it comes to putting together financial packages in relation to real estate. It is definitely one of the areas we are looking at when it comes to our financial products, referring to cryptocurrencies, and looking forward. We're not just looking at typical methods offered today, we're also looking ahead. That's according to El-Hindi, again, CEO of the group. So this is pretty encouraging, but again, it stands somewhat in contrast to the policies, or at least the sentiments that we're seeing out of Saudi Arabia because, as Luke points out, there's some regulatory uncertainty for cryptocurrencies in that other country. Last week, a special standing committee in Saudi Arabia issued a statement reaffirming the illegality of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in the kingdom. I think the United Arab Emirates, from everything that I've surmised, seems to be a little bit more progressive, a little bit more embracing of cryptocurrencies. When I say progressive, I'm talking about the crypto space, but they seem to be a little bit more willing to, experiment with these kinds of financial products. And just very quickly on a tangent here, guys, let us know what you think about this article and this idea. Do be sure to leave a comment for Luke. But here you have one of the, as far as I'm concerned, the wonders of the world, the Mohammed bin Zayed Grand Mosque. It's one of the most spectacular things I've ever seen. And having had the good fortune to be able to live in Abu Dhabi for a little bit, a couple years ago, here are my photos of the mosque. To me, it's greater than the pyramids. It's more impressive than the Taj Mahal. It was just one of the most phenomenal things, the most spectacular architectural achievements I've ever seen. It's just beautiful. So I very much enjoyed Abu Dhabi. It's a wonderful city, wonderful people. The Emirati are extremely welcoming and very, very hospitable. This is another structure. This is the Emirates Palace, also located in Abu Dhabi. And it's just, people have perhaps sometimes the wrong conception of the Middle East. In many ways, my experience in Abu Dhabi and the United Arab Emirates was well ahead in terms of the first world, in terms of things that impressed me, well ahead of the life and the standards that I enjoy where I am now back in Canada. So nothing but the best to say about the UAE, Abu Dhabi, and projects like this one. My hat is off to them. This is the Imkan home page. You can check it out. It's a little bit seizure-inducing. I'll warn you guys. It's very flashy for a real estate developer's site. But nonetheless, there you have it. If you want to check that out, of course, we're going to link to that in the description below. So talking about cryptocurrencies, receiving payments in cryptocurrencies, here's a related story from ByNance, which is expanding, and it's allowing employees to take their salaries in the ByNance coin. So ByNance expands their borders to Liechtenstein by partnering with Liechtenstein Crypto Assets Exchange to add fiat crypto exchange. Also, ByNance CEO Changpeng Zhao calls his employees who receive their salaries in ByNance coin, quote, smart people. Well, there you have it. So he tells the TechCrunch founder, Michael Arrington, that 90% of ByNance employees choose to receive their salaries in BNB tokens. 90%. Wow. Smart people. This conversation was held at Liechtenstein Crypto Assets Exchange's event on August 17th in Vaduz, Liechtenstein. If the crypto markets can return to a bullish sentiment, then getting a salary in one of the most stable cryptocurrencies could be very smart. ByNance coin BNB is a much better position in 2018 compared to most coins. It's off about 58% from its all-time high of $24 in January, and even Bitcoin, which is off about 67% from its all-time high. So first of all, there's two issues here, but number one, out there in the altcoin buzz army, would you all accept your payments in a cryptocurrency? We talked about this before. There were some yays, some nays. Let's say specifically, put yourselves in the shoes of ByNance employees. Would you accept payment of your salaries in BNB? I think I would, to be quite honest, because if you view it to be an appreciating asset, then why not? You're just, over time, you're multiplying your salary effectively. So here's the second part of the story. ByNance has also announced a fiat crypto exchange in Liechtenstein. This exchange will be very similar to traditional exchanges, as it will include know your customer, AML, and legal requirements. They will be offering trading pairs with Swiss francs and euros against major cryptocurrency pairs. No exact coins have been announced yet. So pretty big news in terms of ByNance. They are just steamrolling. Well, not steamrolling the competition, but they are just on an absolute tear. They seem unstoppable. Their momentum just keeps building. So hats off to Changpeng Zhao and those employees that are accepting their payments in BNB. Hopefully that pays off in the long term. I hope it does. Now, in justice news with Altcoin Buzz, we're talking about the arrest of India's head of Bitconnect. Oh, what an innocent man, so prayerful and introspective. Hardly. So this comes as no surprise to many. Once in a while, it is nice to see karma come back around and get people like this individual. So, alleged Bitconnect head Divyesh Darji was arrested this week at an airport in Delhi as he arrived from Dubai. He and conspirators are accused of bilking millions of dollars from Indian investors seeking to find financial refuge during the government's demonetization campaign. So you guys can read more about this here. At this point, I think everybody is across Bitconnect. We know what it's about. Local media report, Mr. Darji's outfit was registered in the United Kingdom, but essentially operated from the Burj Khalifa Tower in Dubai, which is the flagship structure of that city, also located in the United Arab Emirates. So I think we have a certain theme going today. I'm not going to go over what it is that Bitconnect has done over the past couple of years or so. We actually just covered the fact that it's been delisted from its last exchange, so I think you could call it pretty much officially dead at that point. Here is the scammer spokesperson in chief, Mr. Carlos Matos. But what do you guys think about this? I don't think this is an example of mob justice or anything. This is somebody that was clearly guilty of crime, knowingly propagating a pyramid scheme. And it's not always the case that people get caught, even, years later. So this is something that I do like to see personally. And I'm hardly promoting mob justice. Everybody should have their case heard, and due diligence is expected here. But assuming that a fair court trial is offered to Mr. Darji, then I hope he has what's coming to him. I certainly don't know all the details, but let justice be served. That's what I say. Let us know what you guys think about this and other stories in the comments below. As always, guys, make sure you're following Altcoin Buzz and Altcoin Buzz News. If you like this video, leave us a thumbs up. Make sure you're also subscribed and hit the bell to receive notifications. If you're Emirati, if you're from what part of the world maybe that we discussed today, let us know your thoughts below, of course. And guys, if you missed the last video, do be sure to check it out here. Check out our site, altcoinbuzz.io. With that, guys, if you choose to invest, I wish you happy investing. Have a great Monday and a great week. We'll see you again soon. Take care.